Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Ganana Antva Ganapati Gambavamahe, Kavim Kavinam Upavashravastramam, Jeshtarajam Brahmanan, Brahmanaspata Anushrinoti Biseda Sadhanam, Om Mahaganadipataye Namaha, Om Keshwaya Namaha, Om Narayana Namaha, Om Madhvaya Namaha, Om Govindaya Namaha, Om Vishnuve Namaha, Matsudraya Namaha, Trivikramaya Namaha, Vamraya Namaha, Sridharaya Namaha, Rishikeshaya Namaha, Padmanabhaya Namaha, Damodaraya Namaha, Sankarshanaya Namaha, Vasudevaya Namaha, Pradyumnaya Namaha, Niruddhaya Namaha, Purushottamaya Namaha, Dokshaya Namaha, Narasimhaya Namaha, Achyutaya Namaha, Jaradharaya Namaha, Upendraya Namaha, Hare Namaha, Sri Krishna Namaha, Sri Krishna Namaha, Sri Krishna Namaha. शंभवे नमः विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यंबकाय त्रिपुरांतकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकंठाय मृत्युंजयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः. ओम ह्रीं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुंडाय विच्चे. ओम ह्रीं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुंडाय विच्चे. ओम ह्रीं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुंडाय विच्चे. हरि ओम. Dear friends and devotees, we were discussing about Sri Mad Devi Bhagavatham of 18,000 verses by Maharishi Veda Vyasa on the questions of asked by Janamejaya. Janamejaya is the king of Hastinapura, and he lost his father, and to make his father to reach heaven, he has to listen to the Devi Bhagavatham, and also he has to do Amba yajna in the end. And Veda Vyasa Maharishi came on its own to the Hastinapura palace to see Janamejaya king and explained the necessity of doing the studying the Purana and listening to the Purana. And Veda Vyasa Maharishi himself is explaining this to Janamejaya. Now we are reaching the chapter 18th. In this chapter 18th of the fourth book of Sri Mad Devi Bhagavatham, Bhudevi went to the heavens complaining the difficulties in the earth. Vyasa Maharshi said to Janamejaya, O king, hear in detail the complete life and the deeds in the incarnation of Sri Krishna and also the various wonderful achievements by the goddess of this universe. Once on a time, the Bhudevi was very much overburdened by the load of the wicked kings, and she was therefore very much afraid of bad things to happen in Bhuloka. She then assumed the appearance of a cow and went to the Devaloka, crying and very much dejected. Indra, the lord of Devas, asked her, Why, Vasundhare, what is the cause of your fear now? Who has troubled you? What afflictions are you merged in? Please tell me all this. On hearing Devendra's words, the Bhudevi exclaimed, O respected giver, when you have asked me, I am explaining to you the cause of all my afflictions and sorrows at present in Bhuloka. At present, I am overburdened with too much load. Now the reigning of the earth, Jarasandha, the king of Magadha, a very, very vicious person. Thus the other Shishupala, the lord of Chedis, the uncontrollable Kashi Raja, Rukmi, the powerful Kamsa, the strong Naraka, the Srupati Salva, the wicked Kesis, Denuka and Bataska, all these are now in royal positions. O Lord of Devas, these kings are all devoid of the least trace of virtue, quarrelsome against each other, infatuated with vanity, and addicted to vicious deeds. These have become kings as if they were personified yamas, the lords of death, and are constantly troubling the whole earth. I am now unable to carry their loads. Where shall I go now? This great thought is constantly ailing me. The Bhagavan, in his boar incarnation, is the cause of all this, my affliction. O Indra, these present troubles I am fallen into only through them, through him. For when the cruel Daitya Hiranyaksha, the son of Kashyapa, stole me away and drowned me in the great ocean, then it was Vishnu in his boar incarnation that killed him and rescued me from the ocean and then kept me in this my stable position. Had he not then lifted me up, I would have rested safe in the depths of the Rasatra. O Lord of the Devas, now I am quite unable to bear the load of these vicious persons' wickedness. O Surendra, the vicious 28 Kali is coming quickly in front. Thinking of its influence, it seems to me that I will be very troubled then and will have to go down to Rasatra. Therefore, O Lord of Devas, I am bowing down before your feet. Kindly relieve me of my burden and save me from these endless troubles. Indra said, Oh, Bhudevi, I cannot do anything for you. You better go and take refuge of Brahma. I am also going to him. He will remove all your troubles. Hearing Indra's words, the Bhudevi hurriedly went to the realm of Brahmadeva, and Indra and all the other devas followed her, and all reached the Brahmaloka. O king, the grandfather Brahma saw the Bhudevi coming to him and through the powerful mediation found out the cause of her coming and said, O auspicious one, why are you crying? What troubles you have now? What wicked persons has given you troubles? The Bhudevi said, O Lord of the earth, the vicious Kali is coming before. Under its influence, the subjects will be horribly vicious. Therefore, I am very much afraid of this Kali Yuga coming. In the beginning of this Kali Yuga, the ancient enemies, the Asuras, have now incarnated on this earth as kings. They will be extremely wicked, quarreling against each other, and will be clever in stealing others' things. There is no doubt in this. O grandfather, now kill these vicious kings and relieve my burden. O Lord, I am very much troubled by the armies of these kings. The Brahma said, O goddess Bhudevi, I too am unable like Indra to remove your load. Let us go to the Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayana, the holder of the disc, that Janardana will remove your burden. I thought of this well before and settled what to do. Vyasa Maharishi said to Janamejaya, thus saying, the four-faced Brahma, the author of the Vedas, rode on his Hamsa vehicle, Hamsa Vahana, taking in front of the goddess Earth, and Devas went to the Vishnu Loka and began to praise Vishnu Janardana, Deva Devas, Deva of the Devas, with the words of the Vedas, with full devotion. They chant the Purusha Sukta, which is favorite for Narayana. Om Sahasrashirsha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat. Like that it goes on. Brahma said, Thou has not 1,000 heads, thou has not 1,000 heads, 1,000 faces, 1,000 feet. Thou art the Purusha of the Vedas. Sahasrashirsha. Narayana is called Sahasrashirsha, thousands of faces. Thou art Deva of the Devas, and thou art eternal. O omnipresent, thou art past, present, and future. O Lord of Lakshmi, thou hast not awarded immortality unto us. Thou art the creator of the universe, the preserver and the destroyer. Thou art the one and the only goal, and thou art the good. Thou art the God. Everybody knows that all these glories belong to you. Vyasa Maharishi said to Janamejaya, when Brahma praised Vishnu like that, whose sign of Garuda was highly pleased, and appeared before Brahma and the other devas. The Bhagavan asked them about their welfare and inquired in detail into the cause of their arrival there. Brahma then bowed down to Lord Vishnu and remembering the cause of the sorrows of the goddess Earth, the Bhudevi, said, O Lord, thou art now to relieve the burden of the Bhudevi. O thou ocean of mercy, when in the end of the Dwapara Yuga will come, thou art to incarnate in the world and kill the wicked kings and thus to relieve the burden of the earth. Lord Vishnu said, I am not independent in these matters. Why I? Brahma, Mahesha, Indra, Agni, Yama, Vishwakarma, the sun and Varuna and other devas. Nobody is independent. This whole universe, moving and unmoving, is existing under the control of Yogamaya and Brahma. From Brahma up to the clot of grass, all are strung into the thread of her three qualities. One of the good owes whatever that Yoga Maya, the supreme goddess, who is all will, whose mouth is inward, who does good at all times. What she wills, she does that at any time. You should all know that we are entirely under her control. Lord Vishnu said to Brahma that we are all under the control of Yogamaya, the supreme goddess. You better think about that. Were I independent, what for would I would have stayed in the great ocean, incarnating in the fish and tortoise bodies. O Brahmin, what name or pleasure is there in enjoyment in the body of a lower animals? What holy merit or any other reward may I expect from being born in the wombs of lower animals? What is the reason that I assume the body of a boar, or a man of a lion, or a dwarf? Why was I born as the son of Jamadagni? Especially, why did I, being born of that high-souled Brahman, Jamadagni, and being the best of the Brahmins, do the most atrocious act like that of a heartless brute and fill up the lakes with their blood? Alas, I killed the Kshatriyas mercilessly. To say nothing more than that, I killed the sons I killed the sons that were then in the wombs were I independent. What for I would have done these horrible and cruel deeds? O Lord of the Devas, see again, in my Rama incarnation, I roamed on foot, helpless, and without any provision in the fearful Dandakaranya, unfrequently by anybody, wearing clotted hair, dark bark rags, like a man who feels no shame, and behaved like a hunter and killed many animals. Being under the delusion of Maya, I could not make out the real nature of the golden deer. Consequently, leaving Janaki in the thatched cottage, I went out pursuing the deer. Though repeatedly warned by me not to leave the place, Lakshmana was moved by the qualities of Prakriti, forsook her, and went out on my search. Then the hypocritic Ravana, the king of the Rakshasas, under the garb of a beggar, stole away by force the daughter of Janaka, who had become very lean on account of sorrows. I was very much distressed owing to the separation from my dear wife, and I roamed about weeping sorely in the forest, and formed a friendship with Sugriva under the influence of the circumstances. It was an act of gross injustice on my part to kill Bali, the king of god monkeys. I freed him from his curse. Afterwards, aided by the monkeys, I had to go to Lanka when my younger Lakshman and myself were both enchanted under the chain of the serpents, Nagapasha, and were senseless. The monkeys all were astonished. Then Garuda came and freed us, the two brothers, from those Nagapashas. I considered then what adverse inauspicious circumstances fate sometimes ordains on our lot. I lost my kingdom, lived in the forest. My father died, Janaki was stolen, and I had to suffer extreme troubles in very deadly battles. I could not know what worse fate still awaited for us. O Suras, What more calamity can you expect to befall on any person than that I was from the very first deprived of my kingdoms and wealth, and had to go to the forest with the Princess Sita, dwelling in and taking shelter in a dense forest. At the time of my going into the forest, my father did not give a single penny. Penniless and helpless, I had to get out of Ayodhya on foot. I was compelled to leave my Kshatriya dharma and take up the avocation of hunter, and thus to spend 14 years in the forest. After that, under the benign influence of fate, I was able to kill that Asura Ravana and got the victory in the battle, and was able to bring back dear Sita to Ayodhya. There I succeeded in becoming the ruler of the kingdom of Koshala Desha with its subjects, and got the full kingdom and enjoyed for so many years the pleasures of the world. The stealing away of Sita took place at the first outset. Next, I got my kingdom. Then the subjects began to calculate the bad name regarding the Janaki, and I, being afraid of that, deported her into exile in the forest again. At that time, I had to suffer again extreme pain and agony due to separation from my wife. Then the daughter of the goddess Earth penetrated into the earth and got down to the Patala. Then the daughter of the goddess Earth penetrated into the earth and got down to Patala. O Devas, when I had to depend on fate and to suffer so many troubles incessantly, where else can I dare to say that an independent man exists? Afterwards, under the influence of time, I had to go to heaven with my brothers. Let all this point to what it may. The intelligent, learned people can say what an amount of mishaps takes place to one who is dependent. One born from the lotus, you hear my word. Oh, one born from lotus, you hear my word. I am in every way dependent. Why, I, Rudra, you and all those suras are all fully dependent. Here ends the 18th chapter of the 4th book of the Mahapurana of Sri Mad Devi Bhagavatham, 18,000 verses by Maharishi Veda Vyasa on the Devi Bhudevi going to the heavens, on chanting the hymns to the Devi. Vyasa Maharishi, he said, the Bhagavan Vishnu spoke again unto Prajapati. Brahman, all these beings fascinated by Maya cannot know the real essence of the highest truth. We too are fascinated by Maya, and hence we also, being blinded by that, do not at all remember that highest eternal Purusha, calm and quiet, the world teacher, the highest self of the nature of the pure existence, intelligence, and bliss. O Brahma, I am Vishnu, I am Brahma, I am Rudra. Thus our Ines Ahankara has blinded our eyesight, and we are made unable to recognize that eternal highest self. As the wooden dolls dance according to the will of the player, the magician, I also am similarly fascinated by the Maya, and am thus incessantly rolling about like a dependent man. O Brahma, in the beginning of the Kalpa, Maheshwara, you and I saw the wonderful, unspeakable form and glory of the highest self at that time of Rasamandala, Rasamandala in the Manidvipa, where there was Mandara tree and the Devas assembled. Then I also saw that wonderful thing second time in the Sudarnava ocean of nectar, and the most wonderful of it is this, that until we are able to see that form, we did not hear anything of her before. Therefore, O Devas, today do you all remember that prime force, the highest self, that all beneficent force that yields all good and auspicious things, that very force will fulfill now all your desires. Vyasa Maharishi said to Janamejaya king, O king, no sooner the Bhagavan Hari addressed us, Brahma and the other devas at once mentally began to meditate on that eternal Yogamaya, the goddess of the universe. Being thus meditated at once, appeared before their eyesight the Mahadevi, the goddess of the universe, whose colors were like the blood red java flower, holding in two of her hands nose, hook, or gold, while the third hand indicated favor, and the fourth hand bade all discard every sort of fear. As the web comes out of a spider and sparks come out of the fire, so this whole universe comes out of that goddess Maya, Yogamaya. We all bow down before her with our humble hearts full of devotion. We all salute to that goddess of the universe, Bhuvaneshwari, under whose might force the whole universe, moving and unmoving, is created, who is all intelligence and the ocean of mercy. This world appears real to him, who is unable to realize her real essence, and the world drops off as unreal no sooner he realizes her presence. We all meditate on that all intelligent goddess, and we all pray to her that she may grant unto us more strength to meditate on her and her alone. We all want to know Mahalakshmi. We all meditate on the omnipotent. May the goddess grant unto us strength to meditate on her so. Though the remover of world's afflictions, best though pleased unto us, though kind-hearted, do this work for us and promote our good. O thou Lord of the earth, dost thou relieve the burden of the Bhudevi by killing these asuras and bring on our welfare. O thou lotus-eyed, if thou do not show thy mercy towards the gods, they will never be able to strike their enemies with their weapons in the battlefield. O goddess, thou did verify the truth of this before, when thou did assume the appearance of a yaksha and utter the following sentences. O fire, you burn this blade of grass. O fire, you burn this blade of grass, etc. in the Kina Talvakara Upanishad. Kena Talvakara Upanishad. O Mother Kamsa, O Mother Kamsa, Bhuma, Kalayavana, Keshi, Jarasandha, the son of Bruhadratha, Vaka, Putana, Kara, Salva, and other vicious kings, respectively, are dwelling on the earth. Though better kill them and relieve the burden of the Bhudevi. O lotus-eyed, thou hast to kill those asuras without any effort that were not slain by Vishnu or Maheshwara, and they ended their lives while they were beholding thy pleasing countenance. O goddess, holding moon on her forehead, these Hari, Hara, Brahma, and other gods are unable to move a step without the help of force, nothing to speak any further. The thousand-headed king of serpents is unable to hold this earth even for a moment. Were he not provided with Shakti of upholding this world? Indra said, O Bhagavati, would Brahma be ever able to create this world without the aid of Saraswati? Would Vishnu Deva of the Devas be ever able to preserve it without the aid of Lakshmi? Or would Maheshwara be ever able to destroy this world without the help of the Uma? No, never. These Devas, the Trinity, are able to take their respective parts in the keeping of keeping up of the world simply because they are united with the forces incarnate in Saraswati, etc., who are again parts of thee, parts of you. Vishnu said, O Vimale, were we deprived of thy force, the Creator would never have been able to create the world. I would never have been able to preserve it, and Maheshwara would never have been able to destroy. Therefore, O Devi, thou alone art regaining, art reigning as the supreme goddess amongst all other glories of the creation, preservation, and destruction of this universe. Vyasa Maharishi said to Janamejaya king, thus prized by the gods, goddess, and addressed by them, O Devas, let all anxieties leave you all. I will do what the Devas have desired, even if it be very difficult to do in this world. Now explain that is troubling the goddess Bhudevi. Devas replied, the wicked kings are troubling very much this Bhudevi, this earth. She cannot any longer bear their burden. Therefore she came crying unto us. O Bhuvneshwari, now it is your duty to remove this load of the earth. O auspicious one, know this, the desire of the gods. O mother, in those days you have killed the most powerful Dhanava named Mahishasura, attended by lakhs and lakhs of Dhanavas and Daityas. What to speak, you have slain Shumba, Nishumba, Raktabija, the very powerful Chanda, Munda, Dhumralochana, Durmukha, and Dushana, the strong Karala, and many other cruel Dhanavas. Now similarly kill the wicked kings, the enemies of the gods, and save the earth from their heavy loads. Vyasa Maharishi said, thus addressed by Devas, the most auspicious one, the Devi, whose color was black and who looked askance, said, smiling in a lone, grave, and deep, like that of the rumbling of a rain cloud. O Devas, I have already brought over how the burden of those wicked kings, the parts of incarnate of Asuras, can be removed. I will, by my own power, rob them of their powers, of that highly prosperous and affluent Jarasandha, the king of Magadha, and others, the parts of incarnate of the wicked Asuras, that are now shining in the earth. O Devas, you would all better go down and incarnate yourself as a part of incarnations integrated with my power and help thus in the removal of the bad people from the earth. Deva Prajapati Maharshi Kashyapa would first of all go with his wife and incarnate as Anaka Dundubi Vasudeva in the race of Yadu dynasty. The imperishable Bhagavan Vishnu will also incarnate as a part owing to the curse of Bhrigu as the son of Vasudeva. O Devas, I will be born then in the womb of Yashoda in Gokula and will accomplish all the end of the gods. O Devas, I will be born then the womb of Yashoda in Gokula and will accomplish all the ends of the gods. I will send Vishnu from the prison to the Gokula. Also, I will transfer Anantadeva from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. They too will grow day by day by my force, and at the end of the Dwapara Yuga will no doubt kill the wicked kings. Arjuna too, the part incarnate of Indra, will destroy the armies of those kings. Yudhishthira, the part of incarnate of Dharma, Bhimasena, that of Vayu, Nakula and Sahadeva, the incarnate of the two Ashwinis, and Bhishma, the incarnate of Vasu as the son of Ganga will take their respective births and exhaust their names and exhaust their armies. O Devas, now be calm and quiet and go. Let the Bhudevi be also calm and quiet. Be confident that I will certainly remove the load of this earth. I will make the above mentioned gods as my instruments merely, and I will destroy by my own force the Kshatriyas in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Malice, jealousy, foul intention, desire, attachment, vanity, covetousness, desire for victory, lust, and fascination are the vices that will destroy the Yadavas. The race of Yadu will end owing to the curse of the Brahmana. The Bhagavan also will leave his mortal coil due to a curse. Now go and incarnate in your respective parts with your wives in Gokula and Mathura and be helpers in the work of the Lord Krishna. Vyasa Maharishi said, saying thus, Devi, the goddess of the universe, the Yogamaya, incarnate of the highest self, disappeared. The Devas and the earth went to their respective places. O King Janamejaya, the goddess earth was pleased with Devi's words, and being quiet, remained surrounded with various medicinal plants and creepers. Then the subjects felt peace and pleasure. The Brahmanas also grew stronger in the happiness and prosperity, and the Munis became glad and began to perform their religious acts with flesh, zeal, and elasticity. Here ends the 19th chapter in the fourth book of Sri Mad Devi Bhagavatham of 18,000 shlokas, Mahapurana, written by Veda Vyasa Maharishi.